and be able to appreciate how clean the streets of London are. I'm taking a stroll to Hyde Park. I decided to take a walk to the closest sceneries around. Yeah, so guys, catch up on my YouTube channel.
Turn right onto Bayswater Road, A402. Turn left towards West Carriage Drive.
So we made it to the Hyde Park. Just taking a stroll around this area, just trying to see what we can best see here.
I said, Bill, if I go to your house, what you said, he's like,
So first joint is the Italian Gardens. This is once the Sportwa River westbound flowed into long water. This was developed in 1960s to create magical Victorian water gardens in front of it. No wonder this has been our favorite destination for visitors. So let's go see how the Italian gardens are. Hey guys, so welcome to Kensington Gardens. This is a place where once upon a time the park was a private playground for nobility. Today it's open to everyone and no longer exclusive but still extraordinary. So we're invited to explore this historic site. You can just have a look. We're gonna take a stretch here as we see what this has in store for us. You'll hear the birds chirping. It's a nice trail. Yeah. So people walk their dogs here. You can come, relax. So I'm taking a stroll down here and I've just noted a very picturesque kind of monument that I need you guys to see. So I was just heading to the Natural Museum of London, if I'm not wrong, and I just saw something spectacular that I want you people to look at. I hope I've entered through the right place. So let's head here and see. So we are still at the Kensington Garden. There's something I need you guys to have a look at here. So guys, just look at this spectacular piece of art. Just look at how spectacular this is, man. One thing you can appreciate about London streets is they're very clean. Just look, man, just look guys. London is the epitome of cleanliness. Yeah, so this is the exhibition road, so let's go see what these museums have in store for us. So guys, we're at the museum, science museum, and as a lover of science, we get to appreciate what science has to offer for us. So So here is the source of steam, the boiling point, early steam boiler. So that's a haystack boiler, how it was. Okay. Okay. The world's oldest locomotive.
We've already done our day.
I follow her? Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So guys, we're at the Buckingham Palace and I think they're doing the change of guard. Let's have a look what's happening. Can you see? There's nothing they're going to change.
Ma l'equipaggio non può. Moderno.
So we are heading to the Big Ben.
Yeah, so that's sorry, what went on in, was it awkward? Was everyone...
So this costed me £24.95. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hast du mein Brötchen mitgenommen?
Boys and girls, welcome folks onto the boat. As you can see, ladies and gents, we left Westminster, make a very quick, very brief stop alongside Salute here, the London Eye. You hear the sound signal, we've just blown, we're going to turn the boat around. So we make a very quick stop here on the London Eye. A few passengers, they might leave us. We had a few passengers that stayed on. There might be a few more people to join us. When we have everyone together, ladies and gents, I'll just give you some more safety and journey information, okay? When we've got everyone together, I'll give you the safety and journey information. A few people ask. Is everybody happy?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound happy. If you're not happy, there's a fully licensed bar in the last saloon, okay? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Nearly 5 o'clock now in London, so enjoy yourself. We'll talk to you very shortly, folks, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Are not done to alarm anyone. They really comply with all the rules, regulations here on the River Thames. The name of the boat we are travelling on is called the Millennium of Peace. It is fitted with the most modern. And as you can see, ladies and gents, it says at the top there, take modern, free and open to all. So if you decide to have a little walk along the Thames path later on this evening, pop inside the Tate it took to construct, completed in 1710. A bit of modern art that links the two buildings together. This is the Millennium Footbridge, better known to Londoners as the Wobbly Bridge. On its opening day, as people rushed across, it bounced and swayed from side to side. They had to close that bridge 2 hours after its grand opening. They actually asked the architect, Lord Norman Foster, on national telly what the problem was for his bridge. And I quote, he said, there's nothing wrong with my bridge, it's the way Londoners walk. I just placed one foot in front of the other, but there you go, the Wobbly Bridge. Look to your right, behind the trees, you'll see a white building with a timber frame and thatched roof, an exact replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. The only building in London to be made out of the traditional materials of wood and thatch since the Great Fire of London. The government outlawed those materials, it spread the fire so quickly all those years ago. It's an open-air theatre. Young and upcoming actors do perform many of Shakespeare's famous plays. And if it was to rain during any of their performances, they will not stop. They carry on through all weathers. It's where they reckon the saying, the show must go on, first originated. The area to your right is called Southwark. During the Elizabethan times, this was London's red light and entertainment district. The City of London, a religious city. People used to walk across the old London Bridge for their weekend entertainment here in Southwark. You had the theatres of Shakespeare, you had gambling dens, bear-baiting pits, and many dens of ill repute. And one of those dens is still here today. On your right, you will see a building with a red window frames. It's called the Anchor. It's a lovely old pub. And that pub dates back to 1615. It is over 400 years old. Many famous Englishmen over the years have drank inside the pub. Dr. Johnson, Samuel Pepys, the diarist, Sir Christopher Wren, William Shakespeare. He used the attics as a changing room whilst performing at the nearby Rose and Globe Theatre. Many Englishmen over the years. The Cannon Street Railway Bridge, as we come down through, to your right once again, ladies and gents, you will see an old pirate ship. Does anybody like the films Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah, a few of you? Well, that ship's unfortunately got nothing to do with the films. Very good films though. That is Francis Drake's ship, the Golden Hinds. Unfortunately, it's not the original, a full-scale working replica. And it was built down in Appledore in Devon. Behind these buildings to your right, if you are looking for somewhere to go, can highly recommend the Borough Market. The Borough Market, London Bridge, Southwark, is a traditional market. Food, flowers, drinks from all around the world. A lovely place to visit, just behind the cathedral which you see to your right, the Borough Market. And this bridge, not much to look at, it's all about the history surrounding London Bridge. Now there's been a river crossing on near this site for over 2,000 years since the Romans first landed. The London Bridge before this was sinking into the Thames mud. They took it down stone by stone, brick by brick. They took it across to America and rebuilt it. Lake Havasu, Arizona. That's where the old London Bridge stands today. It was sold to the McCulloch Corporation, a tourist attraction. To your right, ladies and gents, we have the tallest building here in London. It's called the Shard, or the Shard of Glass. It stands over 1,018 feet tall. Inside the Shard, you will find offices, apartments, there's a casino, the 5-star Shangri-La Hotel. On the 72nd floor, there's a public viewing gallery. It's called The View. The building was designed by a famous Italian architect, Renzo Piano. On your left-hand side, the yellow brick building. On the roof, the 2 fish as weather vanes, the old Billingsgate Fish Market. Been a fish market trade on that site for over 300 years. Sadly, tradition was broken 30 years ago. The new Billingsgate moved further downriver to the Isle of Docks. Behind the old Billingsgate Fish Market, a few of London's iconic buildings. You've got the walkie-talkie, you've got the cheese grater, the scalpel, and just coming into view behind that pointed building, you've got the Gherkin, the Swiss Re Tower. All of weird and wonderful names. That's central London to your left. And that sandy yellow colour building to your left, with the 6 black chimneys and the clock in the centre, Water Guard House, the offices and headquarters to His Majesty's Customs and Excise. Anybody comes into the country, you brought too many cigarettes, too much alcohol, confiscated at our borders, taken to the basement of that building where we are told it is all destroyed, incinerated, we are told. I've worked on this river now 40 years, never seen a puff of smoke from those chimneys. Their Christmas parties are amazing. London's very own warship, to your right, the C-35 HMS Belfast. The largest, the fastest light cruiser built for our Royal Navy. Her main arms, there are 12 6-inch guns, there are 6 at the front and those 6 at the back. She was the flagship for the D-Day landing, built in the famous Harland and Wolff shipyard in Northern Ireland, Belfast. The same shipyard where the ill-fated Titanic was built. Permanently situated on an anchor chain, it is an extension to the Imperial War Museum. All 9 decks of the vessel that are open to the public. There's our next stop there, ladies and gents, that's Tower Pier. What we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to go past the pier very slightly. We're going to turn the boat nice and slowly around to your left, and we'll go alongside Tower Pier very shortly. As we turn the boat, if you was to stand up and take a photograph, be very, very careful. As we go side onto the tide, the boat will rock. But ahead of us, we have Tower Bridge, the gateway to London. This bridge is unique. It is one of a kind. It is part suspension and part bascule. The bascules are the 2 centre lower spans. Now they will separate, they will open like a drawbridge in no less than 90 seconds. And that is to allow larger ships free passage into this part of the River Thames. The bridge itself was designed by a gentleman called Sir John Barry, and it was opened back in 1894. It's not as old as it appears. All the stonework, that's all stone cladding, that can be removed. The bridge will operate normally. This bridge, ladies and gents, would have opened at least 20 to 40 times a day years ago for ships coming into this part of the river to bring their cargo. Now we're lucky to see that bridge open 2 or 3 times a week, but they still open it. But if you look at the very top of the bridge, you'll see the 2 walkways. Now they're called catwalks. Years ago, open-aired walkways, very dangerous. They closed them down for quite a few years. They've been glassed them now. It's called the Tower Bridge Experience. You can walk across the bridge once again. The Tower Bridge Experience. The bridge was designed in this way to blend in with its famous neighbour to your right, the Tower of London. The oldest part to the Tower of London is the castle in the centre. See the four raised towers? It's called the Norman Keep or the White Tower. And it was built during the reign of William the Conqueror back in the year 1078. So Tower Bridge, 1894. The Tower of London, 1078. The oldest part, as I said, in the centre, the Norman Keep. The surrounding buildings added to by various kings and queens and reigning monarchs over the years. If you look on the river walk to your right, you will see a bricked up archway that writing above it, entry to the Traitors' Gate. And this is where traitors found guilty of treason at the Palace of Westminster rode down river years ago, up through the once opened archway, taken to Tower Hill, where they would have awaited their execution. And that was the old axe and chocolate block, off with your head. If you was famous, your head was displayed on a spike at the foot of Old London Bridge, and it was placed there to deter any would-be traitors. Those days, they were known as the good old days. I say bring them back, the good old days. Over 900 years of English and French history were inside the walls of the Tower.
Hello?
Ladies and gents, we're going to be going alongside Tower Pier very, very shortly. Safety, journey information. Safety first, remain seated until we are safely alongside them. Sometimes the boats have a slight bump. Wouldn't want anyone falling over and hurting himself. So please find a seat and remain seated until we're safely alongside them. Journey information, ladies and gentlemen. £8, 2 fully licensed captains. My name is Lee. We've also got Schultz, who's another licensed captain, who's going to take us safely down to Tower Pier. Tower Pier is the next stop, folks. From Tower Pier, this boat will then go to Greenwich. I'll tell you some more travel information when we get closer to Tower Pier. So Tower Pier is the next stop. I see quite a few of you have been around London on the big bus tours. On those tours, they have the pre-recorded audio guides. We've got one of those machines on board this boat. As you pass an attraction, 10 minutes later it tells you about the thing you've passed. We don't like to use that. Get much better feedback when one of the crew offer a live commentary. Would anybody like me to point a few places out, folks? Raise your hands if you can hear me and understand me. Very good, a few of you. The ones that have just raised your hands, you're the first to get a life jacket in any emergency. We turn the boat around. Let's try and make your trip a little bit more enjoyable. We turn the boat around Westminster Bridge to your right. Also to your right, we have the Old County Hall for London. This used to be an office complex for the GLC, the Greater London Council. They had the job of looking after the 32 boroughs of Greater London, all the housing, schooling, refuse collections. They was disbanded by an Act of Parliament back in the late 1980s. Now inside the Old County Hall today, Shrek's Adventure, a Marriott Hotel, a Namco Adventure. You've also got the London Dungeons and the London Aquarium, all inside that one building to your right. Now the GLC, they used to look after the 32 boroughs of Greater London. The London Eye to your right, there are 32 capsules or pods, not a random number. They represent those 32 boroughs. When you're 450 feet at the very top on a good clear day, you should see all of London's 32 boroughs. This was brought up to London, all in pieces, all in sections. It was put together on top of barges and pontoons here on the River Thames. It was raised in the year 2000. It's London's most visited tourist attraction. That's the London Eye to your right. To your left-hand side, you will see a grey vessel called the Tattershall Castle, the pub on the Thames. Once an old side-wheel paddle steamer up on the River Humber. This was originally brought down to London as a floating art gallery. It never made much money as an art gallery, so they converted it into a public house and nightclub. It made more money in the first weekend as a pub and nightclub than the entire year as an art gallery. This goes to show you what sort of artists we've got here in London. The pub on the Thames. Behind the trees to your left, the Gothic style building is Whitehall Court Mansions. This was the former home of the National Liberal Club. the wartime head office for Sir Winston Churchill during the Second World War. It's now part of the 5-star Royal Horse Guards Hotel. So it's one of London's 5-star hotels, Whitehall Court Mansions to your left. The Charing Cross Railway Bridge, the building in the corner there, the funny looking building, that's Charing Cross Station. And if anybody's ever travelled on London's roads and you've seen the mileage signs of 10, 20, 50 miles to London, 50 miles to that station, 10 miles to stop, this is a very noisy railway, as you can hear. The building to your right is completely soundproof. The Royal Festival Hall, it's a concert hall, and it was built for the Festival of Great Britain of 1951, a post-war morale-boosting festival. Many famous artists have sung and performed inside that building. Frank Sinatra, Pavarotti, Michael Jackson, Amy Winehouse, to name just but a few. Sadly, all of those artists are no longer with us. They have all passed away. I am now waiting for the Justin Bieber concert to take place. I'm sorry if there's any believers on board the boat. Is it too late to say I'm sorry? To your left-hand side, the stone column guarded by the 2 black sphinxes, Cleopatra's Needle, said to be over 3,500 years old. The building behind it with a very large clock face, Shellmex House, the offices and headquarters to Shell, the giant petroleum company. And the grey building with the green tiled roof, the riverside entrance into the famous Savoy Hotel on the Strand. That's one of London's 5-star hotels to your left, the Savoy. And this bridge, ladies and gents, the Waterloo Road Bridge. We affectionately call this the Ladies' Bridge. Over 80% of the labour force on the reconstruction were in fact female. Rebuilt during the Second World War when there was a shortage of male labour. Built by the Land Army, the Ladies of London. Still to this day, that bridge is the only bridge that was ever built on time and under budget. So well done to the ladies, a fantastic achievement. To your right hand side, the concrete building, flash and illuminated signboard, that's our National Theatre. This building unfortunately gets voted year after year by London's leading architects to be the ugliest building on the banks of the River Thames. Why we have an ugly building contest, I'll never know, but that wins it. Never judge a book by its cover. 3 superb theatres or auditoriums are inside that one building. The largest of the 3 is called the Olivier. It was named after Laurence Olivier, one of the co-founders of our National Theatre. There's a footpath to your right, ladies and gents, from the London Eye all the way down to Tower Bridge. The exact same journey we are doing by river. If you haven't got a return ticket, you can retrace it on your right, the Thames Path. Street entertainers, bars, restaurants. You see there to your right, underneath the trees, pop-up market stalls. A lovely stroll alongside the River Thames on your right-hand side. The reason I say on your right, the Thames Path, because on your left we have the city. Now we are in the city of Westminster. We're going to leave the city of Westminster and enter the city of London. To your left, behind the white vessel, there is a stone archway on the embankment wall. This is Temple Arch or Temple Gate, the dividing line between the city of Westminster and the city of London. The city of London, our capital, it only measures 1 square mile. That is from Temple Arch down to Tower Bridge. That's the square mile, the capital. One of the richest, one of the smallest capitals in the world, originally named Londinium when the Romans first landed. And if you look underneath every lamppost to your left, you will see a green lion's head. These are old flood warning indicators. The Victorians placed them there. If they ever thought that the tide reached the lion's heads, London would be at risk of flooding. We've got the Thames flood barrier further downriver now at Woolwich. But the Victorians years ago used to patrol the embankment wall. If they ever see the river up to the lion's heads, they would evacuate all of London's underground and surrounding buildings for fear of it being flooded. And those police, they were taught a poem. If the lions are drinking, then London is sinking. If the river ever reaches the lions' mains, then London will surely go down the drains. We, the crew, have made up our own rhyme, and we say if those lions' heads are ever ducked, London is well and truly flooded. We're still working on that, not very hard though, not very hard. Back into the City of London, to your left, there's a grey building, green sloping roof, the old City of London School for Boys. Educated in that school, many of this country's leading statesmen, including Sir Winston Churchill before he went to Harrow, and Lord Ashford. Now owned by JP Morgan, a very large American bank. We're going beneath the Blackfriars Bridges. There are two bridges that are very close together. These bridges, they form a light tunnel. We refer to this tunnel as our very own tunnel of love here on the River Thames. Now as we go through the bridge, ladies and gents, it's said if you turn to your loved one and you give them a kiss, you'll be given many, many years of happiness. So don't be shy, you pucker up. And then if you're on the boat this afternoon and you're not with your loved one, you can always search your husband or your wife. If there's any single ladies, please don't rush up all at once. I'm still waiting. The red columns are all that remain of the very first railway bridge across the River Thames, designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel. They removed the top, became too unsafe. A few places out, going down to Greenwich, folks. Would you like me to carry on with a commentary? Yeah? Rather than sitting there in complete silence or in peace, I'm going to annoy you all. So we've left the City of London behind us. London suburbs. To your left is the borough of Wapping, East London. To your right, the borough of Bermondsey, South London. Butler's Wharf, this is what we're going to pass. All old wharves and warehouses, now converted into luxury riverside apartments. Over at Butler's Wharf, underneath those apartments, some very nice fine dining restaurants like Pont de la Tour, Chop House, Brown's, all bar one. There's a gap between the buildings to your right, that is St Saviour's Dock, or the dock head of Bermondsey. If anybody's ever seen the musical Oliver Twist, all filmed down that dockway, Lionel Bart's musical. It's where Fagin had his band of boy pickpockets, Bill Sykes fell to his death after murdering poor Nancy, and the jewels, they were dropped into the sticky mud right at the very end of the movie. Charles Dickens, the novelist, he used to walk through Bermondsey. He'd walk through Bermondsey, South London, up to London Bridge to visit his father.
Once again, if you turn over to Elizabeth Line services, zone 7, 8 and 9. Zone 7, 8 and 9 for the
So guys, we are starting our tour on the Arsenal Museum. So come with me. This is Emirates Stadium.
The Arsenal don't believe in stunts. For them, it's steady groundwork. You need muscle.
I hope you're enjoying yourself, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh merde, c'est déjà ici.
Non, c'est pas que tu es là.
Tu vois mieux ici?
Non, tu vois pas très bien. Hein. C'est mieux où on était là. Oui.
Oui, c'est quasiment cher. Tu vois, t'es tout devant. C'est bien aussi.
Je parle pas tout de devant.
Mon gars, c'est... Ouais, il nous pose des questions à chaque fois.
Championship trophy, a marvellous title race that went all the way to the last seconds of the season, that raised attention
So we finished with the museum tour. We now want to go to do the Emirates Stadium tour.